Hello, everybody. This is Vinnieart, and welcome to my stream. Today, it's a little bit of an earlier stream than I normally do, but we got some fine people over from the UK, so I wanted to accommodate them. So say hello to you guys know her as Charlie's London.
Hey, everybody. I don't know why I'm waving. I'm waving on camera, but but hey, how you doing?
I didn't even put mine on today either yet. Well, hello, and we got Chubbs, the creator of Merry Boys.
Hello. Thanks for having me on, Vinny.
Oh, a pleasure. We should have one or two more people coming in as well, but we'll see if they pop in. We'll just pop them in. So yeah, how's everybody doing today?
Busy. I'm like in the last 36 hours now. So it's all a bit crazy. It's weird. It's gone really, really quick in one respect, and then in another respect, I feel like I've been talking about this campaign forever. So yeah, I'm gonna be sad when sort of the main bit is over, but I am going in demand. So I'm going in demand until book 2 comes out, and then book 1 will be on the campaign for book 2. And I can't believe this is how sort of I've tried to be so organized, Vinny. I'm actually having hey Humi, I'm actually already talking to my artist about what we're doing for book 2. So
nice. That's
yeah,
great.
so it's already being spoken about. So it's all pretty good.
That's the way to do it. I mean, everybody knows my first 5 campaigns, I had all the artwork done before I launched the campaigns. So cool. Yeah, so we were able to fulfill immediately. My current campaign, well, it's in the sign up phase right now, Shadow of the Kraken. I'm doing a little bit different. I have a huge chunk of the work is done. We're over halfway done, but I wanted to not have it totally done yet. That way I could add extra stuff in there for stretch goals, because it's the one thing I haven't been able to do yet with the previous campaigns, again, because I fulfilled immediately. But this way I think it'd be pretty good, and it gives me a little bit more time and leeway to get even more rich, beautiful artwork out there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've decided that whatever profit is made off of this, I'm putting it in a bank, staying there, and then that I'm literally cracking on with book 2, and that's going to be to pay for the art for book 2. Like, just invest it wisely, because I think that's the best way to go. I want to have 50% of book 2 done by the time I launch it. Mm-hmm. And I just feel that because I know the way this one's going to end, I don't want people to be waiting too long. And there's certain little things I want to be able to do. Like, I want to be able to have offer like a slip case in book 2 that's going to fit book 1, 2, and 3 as hardcovers. If I can, if it'll make the money to do it, so that you've got it to go on your shelf as hardcovers. Because I really love that idea of like the Walking Dead comics do, where they're in the hardbound versions as well as the paperbacks. That's always something I'd like.
It's a cool thing. That's why I did it with Through the Woods as well. I mean, we had the 3 floppies, and then when everyone demanded it back, I mean, that's the only reason why I did that 5th campaign. I was going to take a break, but people wanted, so I said, all right, I'll do the collected edition. But it was going well, and I said, screw it. To do 5 campaigns in like a year and a half is pretty amazing. We'll do some extra special if we hit a stretch goal, and that's when I turned it into a hardcover.
Well, I know for a fact that when it comes to me, I've put these, like I've said before, I've put these book deals together to be after the campaign, going out commercially. I know for a fact that one of these companies is having Chubb's cover, and one of them is having yours. So because of what they specifically want, and that's why I think that every single one of the covers on this campaign is astounding, because they go to such different audiences. I mean, I've sold so many of the 3 covers because people can't decide which one they want.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. The quality across the board in this project is some of the best. I don't care what anybody says on any level. You guys all crushed it. I was happy and honored to be part of this. Look at this. This is just absolutely amazing. What Donald and Inkspots did on this. My cover, Chubbs. I mean, dude, your cover is just absolutely gorgeous. Well, we saw it earlier, but I mean, yeah, I'll be scrolling up and down. I'm blown away by this entire campaign and the amount of work that you were doing to get this off the ground to begin with. Between the pre-launch. Oh wait,
textbook. She's really put in so much work into this. I have to say, yeah, this is. I'm taking hints from Charlie on how to run my next campaign. Hey, Wally. Hey, Wally.
Hey, guys. Yeah, I thought it was 10.
Hey, man. Oh no, it's all good.
Yeah, I thought we were starting in half an hour's time. Didn't realize it was 9. Okay, sorry about that, guys.
But what you were saying, Vinny, it's a massive passion project. I mean, one of the people that is not only a huge supporter of CG UK, but just someone that all of us on the panel here from CG UK have worked with is Statistical Zero. Statistical Zero's got like a children's story. On the panel here. What happened there?
Sorry. Oh, my bad. I went over because I needed to get to my YouTube because I can't make people wrenches from StreamYard. I don't know why they haven't fixed that yet.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say that Statistical Zero in the chat, he's worked on it as well. So
that's right. Yeah. He's got that piece at the bottom, right? He's in the backup story.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, this just goes to show how everybody is in love with this project as much as me. There was so it was originally the story was the tramp and like the kid from the film The Kid, and we made up all these little like scenario stories, and we were going to put them as a little sort of ash can in the book. And then the chaplains contacted me and said, is this a stretch goal or is this to buy? I said, no, it's a stretch goal. They said, okay. I said, why is that? They said, there may be an issue. We've just struck a huge deal with The Kid, and they have a very strict set of rules where they only let their licenses out to so many companies at a time doing very similar things. So between Stato and I, we came up with this idea of Buster the Dog and like how we could reuse some of the panels without having to waste too much of it. And it's actually ended up being just as popular with people. And then I found out why last week, that they were really like, we kind of need you to remove that from the campaign if it's okay, because the deal that they've got is with the French postal service to have The Kid on stamps. So it's like, you can't play around with that deal, not for the sake of my little Indiegogo campaign. That's completely fine. So, but they were really, like I said, I have such a great working relationship with them. They were so great. When they saw this, they fell in love with it, and they was like, you two have really pulled it out of the bag with this, and Buster the Dog works so well because obviously he's meant to be a homage to Buster Keaton. So that's where we've sort of got it from. And then we've also got, there's like little references to Harold Lloyd, and so it's so I couldn't have been happier with this. There is nothing I would have done any different, not a single thing. And that's what I'm so happy about. I won't look at this and then go, right, I'll do X, Y, and Z different on book 2. There is none of that. I've done everything that I could have possibly done.
Yeah, you got great people here. You got a great team. There's no need to try to reinvent the wheel.
No.
If it's working, you keep going with it. That's it. All right. I'm threw some wrenches out there, by the way, while we were chatting. So yeah, if anybody wants to start dropping some links, you could do that. I'm assuming that the chat is working correctly today. I know there was a bit of a screw up like a day or two ago.
Yeah, it was weird. But what was even stranger was our internet in our street went completely out, and we were sat there going, has this actually got something to do with what's going on with YouTube? It was really bizarre.
Yeah, you gotta remember, everyone's home because of the beer virus, and the holidays too. So it's crazy. They said that they broke records with sales from Black Friday and everything else around the world, which is insane. I think it was close to like $4 or $5 billion worth of sales.
Sure.
Could you imagine that? I don't know what's going to go on with the post, man. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be a mess for a while.
Yeah.
And trust me, I was fulfilling at the height of of the COVID nonsense. So
same. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's right, dude. And yeah, we know the delays. I had, out of everything I've sent out, I've mailed over 2,000 books out.
Jeez.
And I've had 2 come back. One came back multiple times, but it's literally the post office in the other country that, for some reason, they're just not delivering it to the person. I don't know why. I guess it doesn't fit in their mailbox. They said they're in an apartment building, but they're not giving them the slip to tell them to come pick it up at the post office. So it sits there for another month or so, and then they got to ship it back. It's mind blowing. I don't know what the hell's going on.
What country?
Norway.
Norway. All right.
Yeah.
Saw the fjords. Didn't fit into your fjord post box.
I guess not. And the one person from Germany, but I try to contact them and their email is incorrect. So I don't know how I'm supposed to get in touch with this person. If you're watching and you're from Germany and you didn't receive Through the Woods, and it's been a while, please drop me an email.
I'm having a similar thing, but from a customer point of view. I got a slip through the door saying I had to pay customs charges. When I got it, the slip, when we found the slip, it was 14 days after that I was meant to go down there, and they'd already sent the book back or whatever it was back. And I don't know what it is because I've backed a load of Indiegogo campaigns. So I'm literally waiting for the creator to contact me going, I've got your book back. Is there a reason why? So I have absolutely no idea.
Why would there be customs on it, though?
I know. That's happened to me 3 times with things from the States.
Is it because the price, if they put on the customs sheet, if the price is too high, maybe? Because they usually ask the value of the book.
Yeah, because we've got a different system to you guys, Vinny. Like you got a de minimis rule of like $800. Ours is like £20. If it's slightly more than that, then we have to pay duty on it. I think that's how it works. And never ever buy toys from the US. Jeez, that's expensive because of the customs.
Yeah, you're 100% right. So I was chatting to Statos Zero about, oh god, this was that conversation about 2 months ago. He found in a shop, I love Friends, and he found in a shop that they did Friends a Lego set of Central Perk, and he sent me a picture, and it was $49.99 out there, and it was £20 cheaper than here, but for him to send it to me. I would have probably ended up having to pay double that on shipping, so it wasn't even worth it.
Holy crap! Yeah, it's insane. I know in Australia, there's like figures or something at like $20 over here. It's at least $45 over there. So yeah, and then if you're gonna ship it back and forth or something to somebody, it's an arm and a leg. It's ridiculous, And we're talking about plastic and paper. We're not talking about gold or silver or something, or glass.
You talking about paper, though? I do believe everybody on this panel has gone through Mixam for their books, because I'm using Mixam on mine.
Yeah, that's my tried and true. I'm the first guy who brought them over to everyone. Nobody was using them before me, so I got the word out as much as I can to every creator I could, because they said their quality is just above and beyond. Take a look, get samples. I always tell people, get the samples. Don't just order a giant shipment or something. Get your preview copy. Make sure it's right. That's kind of, I would think, printing 101. You don't order thousands of books or hundreds of books if you haven't gotten at least the sample copy.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. We were talking about this with them. We were saying that they're really really good pricing for even less than 10 copies. And I've got to send books to different. I have to send 5 copies to the chaplains when it's before I actually get the major ones to be done, and then there are other people that want to see them in order for like these book deals to go through. So even before I do my major order, just order 10 and do that. They're so reasonable. I couldn't believe the pricing.
Oh, yeah.
Cheaper than some companies charge to do their master copy.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I saw it. I was looking at a couple of the companies that people were saying, the big boys use and everything. I'm like, that's crazy. Unless you're ordering 3,000 to 5,000 copies of a book, you're gonna lose your shirt.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and for me, like again, they have a division in the U.S. I know they have one in the U.K. So that's beautiful. That's awesome. And I think it works out pretty well. I haven't had any major issues or anything. You know, the floppies, again, some of the best I've ever seen. You know, if anyone in this panel has City of Venus, I mean, the stock quality from, I mean, just for a floppy book, I mean, holy crap. You could almost knock on this cover as well. Never mind the hardcover book. You know, this thing stands up beautifully. And with the gloss finish, I keep telling people, go for the gloss finish if you're going to do a floppy book, because it's going to protect it even better. And it looks immaculate. You know?
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. No, I'm really happy with this stuff too. It just looks like it looks like the stuff you'd get from Dark Horse or Image. You know, you can match those specs through the Mixam. When they send you those little samples of all the different kind of finishes and things you get, that's something I haven't seen from another publisher. You can literally match things up, and then you can still get your copy before you order your 1,000, 2,000, order of books. So yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
You can get a proof, a 16-page proof for the price of postage as well.
Yeah.
So even before you've finished, you can get an idea if you want to try out different colors or so, and you can get like basically a freebie proof before you even finish.
Thank you, Danielle. Yeah, no. I know somebody who only got like an 8-page sample or something just to see what it was like, because that's what they had available, and they were blown away. So that's pretty damn cool. And yeah, if you're watching Mixam, send me over discount codes if you got them.
I will say it's funny because when I think of I was talking about hardcovers and whatever. When I think about my book, I always see Vinnie's cover hardback. I don't ever see it. I see it hardback and shiny, and I think it's because you've done Through the Woods. So I almost see that cover, but planted on the front of Through the Woods, and I always see Chubbs as being on the traditional like Dark Horse style one. So that's really weird that you both said what you said there.
That's a beautiful thing. And yeah, again, if you see it in your head, you envision it, go for it. Get those samples, see what they look like. And yeah, I mean, again, fans, I think they've been seeing it across the board too. We're delivering on what we've been promising. I mean, straight up. There's no lies. There's no bullshit. You can see it here, all these pages. We know the creators here. We talk with them all the time on different streams. We see the process of how they've been working. You can't tell me that this isn't coming out. Of course this is coming out, and the quality of it is above and beyond. The story is so cool. I know it's something different. It's kind of niche. No one would expect something like this, but you know what? That's what's cool about what we're doing. We all have different genres. My own company, I mean, what I've been doing, I've been releasing 4 or 5 different projects in totally different genres. I did a kid book, horror book, futuristic. I got a pirate one coming. Having something like this is it's cool. It's epic. It's different. You can't say that with the mainstream. It's always carbon copy nonsense, half-assing it. Even an Image, I mean, they turn to shit as well. This is the independent scene that everyone has been really craving for, and that's why I'm happy to showcase things like this and work with people behind the scenes too, helping some artists out, other creators. Again, we're talking about printers, things of that nature, technique. We're all learning different stuff, programs. Everyone kept saying, "Get Clip Studio is amazing. Try it, whatever." So they had the discount. I got it, and I think like to do drawings on there, at least inking and stuff digitally, it's amazing. I think I'm still going to rely on Photoshop when I do my colors, just because I'm used to it, and I got to make more time to learn the other program. But the cool thing is that's what we're doing. We're experimenting. We're seeing and getting inspired by other people. And that's what we got to keep doing. That's how we elevate this. This is how we're going to keep getting faster books out there, better books, quality through the roof. And this stuff proves it. You know,
I like the healthy competition, you know, in the circles. I mean, I see Preston, the good Preston. I see his acrylic paintings, and I'm like, damn it, I gotta learn how to paint acrylics. I gotta do that. I gotta offer that on one of my projects.
He's been doing great stuff. I think I've backed out, I think, almost every one of his projects.
But I will say, I know there are people that think this is a niche book, but I will 100% say this: if Chaplin was alive today, he wouldn't want this book to be with Marvel or DC, because he was. If anyone knows about the process that he used to go through making his films, he controlled every element, even down to there are stories of him doing the makeup on the leading ladies because he wanted them to look a certain way under the light.
Right.
So that and with that alone, he would have not wanted this story to end up with one of these big companies that either completely whitewashed what was the story was and turned it around to be in some sort of agenda, or just didn't tell the story the way it was meant to be told. And the fact that this is independent, the fact that if you actually know anything about him, you'll know that he was the original CG. He got fed up with the way that film companies were controlling the artists. So he got together with the biggest artist in the world and set up United Artists, which I did a bit looking into them last week. Do you know they were one of the last? I don't think they actually exist anymore. They've sort of been broken down to smaller companies, but they were the last holdout against the culture war. They held out until literally they got buckled and sold as part of another conglomerate. So
wow.
If anything else, that's something that, you know, I 100% believe that this book should be here. It is the right place for it. It's the right climate for it, with the cancel culture that's going on, the fact that he tried to be cancelled so many times. This is a story that people are going to read and they are going to go, geez, this is no different to what's going on now.
Exactly. I mean, and that's why, like, I always saw we would be kindred spirits because I was the same way. I stepped away from everyone's bullshit in the big companies. Yeah, I got close to working on Spider-Man. Joe, everyone knows the story. Joe fucked me over right before I signed my contract. But when I was working at McFarlane, I saw how people were being treated. When I started doing the convention scene, and I had crowds around my table, and the big guys didn't, and they're sitting there scratching their head like, "What are you working on?" Okay, my book's here. I'm showing them. I'm being a person. I'm interacting with the customer. I'm treating people like people. They don't know how to do that. They talk shit about everybody, about their own friends in the business, quote unquote. The fans coming to their tables and their booths. I mean, they just see dollar signs walking around. They're not seeing people, and they don't treat them that way. And that's what really made me sick to my stomach about all that shit. I'm like, I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. I'm going to be creating my books, my properties. I'll do my freelance jobs. I'll do the stuff I have to do to pay the bills. And I was slowly trying to build up my catalog of books and things, right? You know, my brother and I, we have a bunch of different projects and ideas. I have my own. He has his own. We collaborate on stuff as well sometimes. And that's the cool thing. That's the fun thing. Through the Woods, that's what that was. It was a collaboration of what we were doing. It was the characters that we invented together. We let them sit for a while when I was working at different places, and I dusted it off. I did a first draft of the story, sent it over to him. He's like, "Oh shit, dude, this is amazing. But how about we do this, we do that?" And, you know, and then we played around again. I let him write up the rest of it, and you know, we went from there. And I think that kind of stuff is cool, and people see it. And I think that's why they gravitate towards what we're doing. You know, as an example, like I mean just my books, but everyone in general and the people that are here. It's because people see it, that it's different. It's not the mainstream. It's a little bit more of like the pulp kind of things as well, or you know, how those earlier books were, like the horror ones and things. I know Wooly, the stuff he's been doing, we're going to be showing tonight as well. Alicia Dark. This stuff is amazing, and this is like a throwback to that kind of older style of those cool books and magazines. I mean, how could you not want this stuff? Why would the mainstream turn away from this kind of thing? This shit is epic, you know? I mean, just beautiful stuff, gorgeous artwork, cool stories, and that's what we got to get back to. That's how this works. This is how it keeps growing, you know? And again, during what's going on with the pandemic and everything, it's amazing to see the numbers that we're doing, and it's cool, and growth is fantastic. But the thing is, we are delivering, you know? During all this craziness we talked about earlier too, I delivered a shit ton of books. You know, year and a half, 2,000 books went out the door into people's hands. And it was almost across the board. Everyone was very happy and pleased with it, and they can't wait for the next projects. And this is what's going to keep us going and thriving and doing more cooler stuff, chilling with good people. And yeah, we'll poke fun at the big boys. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Wooly is undeniably one of the nicest people that I think I have met in CG. I mean, I've said it so many times. I wouldn't be anywhere without the guys from CG UK. Without them, this project would never have got off the ground. I mean, and it's like my main artist. People have asked me about my main artist. My main artist isn't CG, but he's not anti-CG, and he's actually a very, very good friend of Chubb. I was recommended him by Chubb. Chubb knows him very well, and when I've been talking to him and saying, "Oh my God, like this work that like Mickey is producing," and he said, "I am so glad that I recommended you two to each other because it's producing this project that is just out of this world." And and that's Wooly's as well. That piece there is Wooly's page from the one shot that's being worked on. He's like just astounding that the cover that Chubb has done like blew me away when I saw it. Like I say, like, the three of them. I mean, to be fair, if I could, I mean, it might be something I'll do when we go in demand, but a panoramic of a poster of those three covers would be epic.
Oh my God, yeah. You kidding me? If you want to go for it, you know? Whatever works, whatever's in your budget and you think it'd be amazing, I don't see why not. That's the thing is we're having fun here. We're experimenting, and if fans want it, if there's a demand for it, go for it. Why the hell not?
Do a triptych, 3 wooden covers, triptych.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Can you imagine? That'd be absolutely stunning.
That
would
beautiful.
be absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
I mean,
and again, I want to say hello again to the chat. All you guys are amazing. I know we're kind of jumping back and forth and we're in a conversation, but I want to say thank you again to everyone who's here. Ryan, Hex, Leg Kick. We have Wookiee Supremacy, Hard Boiled, Meta Raven, just a ton of great people. I think Smiling Bandito was in there earlier. Again, really, really just cool people, the best people. Thank you guys for always hopping on, saying hello, and giving your opinions on stuff too. It means everything to us. It really does. We're listening. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, we couldn't have done it. I don't like calling CG a community. I 100% think it's a network because I've always had this idea that I wanted to tell this story, but it wasn't a case of I didn't come over to CG and go, "Oh, do you know what? I quite like the idea of doing this." I've been doing stuff with Chaplin for over 10 years. Mm-hmm. But what it was, I always had this idea that I wanted to turn the first sort of 10 chapters of his autobiography, which is the whole his time in London, and David Robinson's biography on him, which is the book is a doorstop. It's incredible. But I always felt that there was a gap in the market here where people who wanted to know more about him would be put off by the size of those books. So I wanted to do something that would amalgamate them together and put them to a new audience, maybe an audience that, literacy is not a strong point, but equally a comic book audience because I love comic books. And when I was meeting people in CG and I was seeing that, it's artists are really accessible, letterers are really accessible, inkers are really accessible. When you're finding out all these things, that's when you realize, actually, no, this is possible. That's why I was around a good 6 to 8 months before I contacted the Chaplins and said, "Can I do this?" Because it wasn't because I was sitting on the idea thinking, "Oh, should I, shouldn't I?" It was, I was building up that network. I was getting to know people. Mm-hmm. I was getting to know the dynamics. I was getting to know, I'm learning so much about this entire process myself. I mean, there is a picture on the campaign that's just something that I did as a 5K stretch goal that is a little picture from me that everyone's going to get signed. I'm no professional artist. Mm-hmm. I learned from Graham Nolan, of all people, told me about Procreate. He showed me how to do a tutorial with Procreate, and that is the result of it.
That's great.
and seriously, I'm not an artist. I'm the writer and the editor on this, but I wanted to have something on there. And the feedback from this, for someone that just doodles for fun, the feedback on this picture has been really positive. So that's incredible as well. And I'm beaming from ear to ear. I couldn't be happier with this project.
And it is amazing, but I'm going to go back. I'm going to say that it is still a community. I mean, yeah, there's great networking stuff in it, but I would say it is more towards a community, at least in my experience and how I've been dealing with people.
I'll tell you something. It's like this. It actually dawned on me the other day. Like I bought this tutorial from this fantasy artist that I really like, via Gumroad, or yeah, it was Gumroad. And I worked through it, and so I messaged him, and I was like, "Damn, this is so good. When are you doing another tutorial? Because I want to give you some, because I want to give you some more money." Blank me. I emailed again, just maybe he didn't see that. Nothing on another platform. Nothing. And I'm thinking to myself, you're too used to Comicsgate. Everybody's accessible. You can speak to anybody. Yeah. That's the difference. And I'm like, shh. We're really lucky. We're really lucky to have that. I could message anybody in CG because to ask them questions and stuff, and invariably they would help you. They will give you tips on anything, on how to do this thing, and that's what I really like about it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's hard because I know sometimes I do get bombarded with messages, but I try to respond as much as I can to people. But I understand what you mean too. I've seen it across the board too, on all different platforms. Yeah, it's easier to ignore people or just not talk with them, because I've seen a lot of those bigger guys doing that. Oh, by the way, yeah, Hex Allen, I know you messaged me. I got to get back to you. I saw you in the chat. I saw it earlier, but yeah, I'll write you back. But that's what I mean. It is kind of crazy, right? And again, it's that accessibility. What we've been doing. I know, I was on a stream with Scotsman, Ink Spots, and a couple of other creators, and we were teaching people how to paint and draw and get pages set up for print. It's something I haven't seen anyone else do. I haven't seen that at the big companies or whatever. And it's small things that maybe for a first-time creator, they don't know those first steps. They don't know how to prepare a page or what the measurements should be, or how to flat, or that kind of, and whatever it is. And we were trying to break it down. And Scotsman was doing like a topic each week, and he had like a series of them. We eventually finished it, but I think he's going to go into inking now. But and that's the cool thing. We're able to do that. We're able to try to help people. If we can't do it on an individual basis, we're doing it through these streams, which is fucking cool. You're
right. You're 100% right. And the thing is as well is, I will retract my statement slightly, because I do, from a business point of view, it's a network, but from a friend's point of view, it's 100% a community. Because thinking back on my statement, then the reason I'm going back on it is because without the guys that I'm close with, the CG UK guys, during lockdown, I think we can all pretty much put our hands on our hearts, boys, and say we got each other through a lot of lockdown, just talking till silly hours in the morning on Hangouts, just not even on streams, just talking. And it was so isolated. I think that we all appreciated each other, and I suppose I wouldn't have that without CG. So I suppose from that point of view, that's a community. Yeah, from a business point of view, I don't think there's a better place to be, because like you say, where else in the world are you going to get someone like Graham Nolan showing you how to use a Procreate?
Exactly. I love Graham's work too. I mean, just again, so many cool people, so many great things. And that's what it's about. That's what it should be about. So the creators who are coming from the mainstream, or they just got in here before everything's starting to fall apart, and you see how they're interacting with people. That's why a lot of us were keeping eyes on them to see, are they going to be classy? Are they going to be respectful with the fans? Or are they going to be their same shit that they normally are? We've seen them at shows and things like that. There is a fine balance, and I think the smarter ones or the good people are gonna come through, and the crappier ones might fade out. You know what I mean? There is something special we have here, and no one wants to see it get tainted by mainstream nonsense.
Yeah, very true, very true.
So we're gonna keep staying on the good path, and that's what's important. We're gonna have these great projects, cool people. Again, how many artists do you have working on this? Like 6 different artists.
That started off as a little joke. That's part of what happened was that's part of an actual bigger picture that's got all the CG UK guys in it. And the day before my campaign launched, I just messaged him and I said, "Is there any way that you can do something with that little me with a chaplain?" And he turned around and said, "Yeah, I can do so." I'm like, I'm thinking about a sticker. I feel like that would work really well as a sticker. Well, I tell you what, it wasn't a couple of hours, and he'd sent me that.
That's amazing.
His style is so unique. I absolutely love it.
He's a great dude. I can't wait for him to launch his project too.
Yeah.
The little space guy. I forgot the name of it.
Multi-talented is Marky. I love those. I love the rap-offs. You know.
Oh my God,
great.
yeah. He
He's
did some
brilliant.
amazing ones. I gotta say, a lot of times I love Frege, but I was leaning towards Mark. I think he did just a killer job with some of those. Even when he didn't know how to end it, and he would put on a funny face and just say something weird.
Yeah.
Great sense of humor. Great sense
Oh,
of humor.
totally. Like I said, we got beautiful people in here. And yeah, speaking of Frege too, like I hope that he's gonna start streaming again, because I did a lot of them on his October stream, those drawing ones. They were a blast. I had so much fun doing those with them. You know, and just again, cool people. I mean, you're gonna see it a mile away. The crappy ones fade out, disappear. The good ones are gonna stay.
Vinny, can I just address one thing in the chat? Pale Rider said earlier, I wanted to refer to this. With Charlie's on, I kind of think I shouldn't be my normal crass self. Oh shit, I'm sober and behaving. No, please be yourself. If you ever watch the CG UK streams, you will know the one that tells the most dirty jokes is me. Right?
Listen to the last stream and ask Charlie about Kraken egg in your ass. Full up there. I was blushing. I'm glad they couldn't see me. You know, I had to have a shower after listening to Charlie talk. Talk like that.
Yeah, I forget I'm not a girl. I forget I am a girl. What's that? I forget I am a girl. I forget I am a girl when I'm around these boys. Like, seriously, they don't make me feel like the only girl in the group. It's either muck in or go home with them lot. So I have to muck in.
Yeah. No, again, it's about having fun, right? I mean, come on. We're making comic books. We're not doing brain surgery. We're trying to entertain people regardless. So I think that's why they like what we're doing, all the different streams and jumping around too. Pale Rider is fantastic. This guy's always hilarious. You know, he goes, my strippers did a Zoom call to keep me cheered up. Gotta love them strippers. That's classic Pale Rider. Hail, brother.
Oh yeah, some of the things that we get up to on them. I mean, but that's what I'm saying is that like these guys, they don't ever make me feel like, oh, it's the woman in the group. Like, watch yourself, be careful what you say. We do that
to Yan. We do that to Yan.
You know what's really funny? If you was to stick your head in our DM group, right, you would think we were all having a go at each other on it, because it's like, you fuck off, no, you fuck off, but that's the way that's a very English thing, but it's equally just the way that we all talk to each other. Yeah. I mean, the amount of times, how many times, Wooly, Chubb, how many times did you see like morning wankers in the group? You know, like
every morning.
It's never hello, how are you? It's
some evenings, some afternoons, pretty much all the time. There's no wankers, it's bummers.
It's something that's mean to the outside world.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had a friend from another country who always said cunt all the time. Like, that's every other word was that. So I'm used to it. I like it. I don't care.
It's Scottish. It's like a term of endearment in Scotland, isn't it, Wally?
I think it is.
Well, you say that's just to get people in trouble when they visit.
Yeah, if they hear from another, people who don't have the same accent, I'm sure they're going to get upset.
Oh yeah, it's always great to hear.
Call me a cunt.
No, it's great to hear Americans say the word bollocks. That's always the best one, because it doesn't have the same. This one of them. My mum describes it as the stub your toe word. Like, when you stub your toe on something, you can't. That's the only word that you can shout out that makes you feel ever so slightly better.
That's funny. Yeah, it's either shit or fuck. And I don't stub my tongue and go, oh, bollocks.
Yeah.
You're right. It doesn't have the same ring coming from someone who doesn't sound like you.
No.
Oh shit. That's great.
I don't doubt that, because I'm in quite a few DM groups, and I've seen drunk DM groups. In fact, ours gets drunk sometimes, to be honest. Like, some of the comments the next day, you're like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
Why did somebody say that?
We're all nuts. We seriously are.
Yeah, but I think it's artistic people, isn't it? I think that artistic people are naturally like that.
Yeah, well, we got to be a little bit wacky, because I mean, I know I get into modes where I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm just focused on my work, and other times I want to just, it's whatever's on the tip of my tongue is going to fly out. I don't care. But we try to have a good time. We try to have fun. Hard boiled. Yeah, buddy, I just saw your message. Right now I am pretty swamped. I mean, I don't normally address this on streams, but yeah, I got a whole lot of work in front of me, so I'm not really taking on more work right now. But I don't know, maybe in another couple of months. But yeah, it is what it is too. Like I said, it's a lot happening. Again, sleepless nights. I think everyone here could agree.
Yeah.
That's why I try to do this a little bit earlier for you guys, because I don't want you guys going to bed at 3, 4 in the morning or whatnot. But
Really appreciate that.
Yeah, we do. I mean, it's important. I mean,
that really confused me. I thought it was later.
Well, we have this though, don't we? I mean, it's like I don't know how. I'll be honest. I don't know how I've run this campaign and still gone to work every day, because I'm physically back at work. So I'm up at 5:30 every morning to catch the train to work at like 6:30. So and I'm at my desk at work, like typing emails and replying to parents and all sorts of things at like 7:30, 7:45. And then in between doing that, I'm like checking in on the US streams that are still going on, and if I'm and chatting to people in there and carrying on my networking. And some nights I get home and it, like, you can ask Jan this, some nights I'll get home, I will literally have a sandwich for dinner and then I'm in bed because I'm so tired. I don't know how I've done it.
Yeah, I trust me, I've been the same way. It's difficult to juggle the other stuff I got to do, family shit, and then the work I'm doing on the projects, the streaming. That's why normally if I'm on someone's stream, I don't really put my camera on, because I'm talking, but I'm also working. I have to get work done. So otherwise you just see the side of my face or my ear, and that's not going to be enough for people. So I rather just have an icon or something. But yeah, when I'm hosting, I'll put on my camera because we're having fun, we're talking, and I got to make sure we're scrolling, we're covering things. And again, these projects, I'm sure everyone's aware of them. They've been around for a bit, but if there's anything specifically you want to let people know, tell them now, because we only have 36, 35 hours, something like that.
There's the possibility, but I need to double check it tomorrow. There's the possibility of a T-shirt being added on for the last 24 hours.
Nice.
And there's also the possibility of I'm awaiting an email from the chaplains to double check it's fine, but I'm pretty sure it is. I just want to do everything properly. I want to add, if we manage to hit the $40K stretch goal before we go in demand, everybody that's backed the campaign is going to get a ash can of the making of, because Mickey's got his roughs, and like Chubb will tell you, his roughs, they're like one stop off the final thing. I mean, like, you look at these roughs and not think they were rough. And I was like, we need to do something with these. So and he's got all of the bye, Dark GIF.
Thanks, Dark GIF, man.
We've got these roughs, and I know, like, the pictures that I've taken from the archives and I've sent to him to use as inspiration. I was just like, I really want people to see like the idea, the concept of the final product of this. So I need to double check with them that I'm okay to do it. But this is another reason why this license is so important. Book 2 is going to be sort of his career in and around from like the end of the kid. So you've got the Gold Rush, the Circus, you've got all these great films, and then it's going to end with The Great Dictator. That's where Book 2 is ending, with The Great Dictator. So, you've got all the Second World War in there. And if I didn't have a license, Book 2 definitely wouldn't exist, because the speech from The Great Dictator is copyrighted on its own.
Wow.
And I'm allowed to use that. I can use that as speech and text.
That's huge. That is huge. Again, that's iconic on every level. So that is amazing. And your connection, which you have here, the property that they're letting you do this, is just it's tremendous. It's on and we're gonna turn to Trump. Tremendous. It's tremendous. But no, it really is, and that is killer. That is awesome to hear. So I
mean, look at this picture. Look at this image. When he sent this was the first image he sent to me. I literally didn't know what to say. Like, I sent it straight. When Mickey sent it to me, Chubb was the first person I sent it to, and I was like, look at this. And people keep saying to me that you need to do something more with this. So it's now the 35k stretch goal. It is now a print as well that's coming in a set. Now the prints are not going to come in just like in a slip. I'm talking to a company at the moment about having a wallet made for the prints, so that you get a set of prints as a set of prints. And there's also a shiny trading card of this as well, because we just said, like, to make the trading card monochrome, like have that shine, that silver really shine, would make this image just pop. So we're playing around with doing that as well. So all these things you can do when you're not answering. I mean, I am answering to someone ultimately, you know, like I have to be careful what I do with, but I will say, I will put people like, well, people have said to me, oh, don't you feel like you're still under the restrictions of mainstream because you're still answering to someone else is your boss? I will tell you what, if the Chaplins are my boss, they are the best boss in the world. I have not had hardly any issues. I've had the slightest little tweaky things to do. And everybody on this panel will tell you, chat, I am the worst boss because I apologise for every decision that needs to be made, needs to be changed. I am not authoritative at all. I'm like, excuse me, would you mind like just changing this a bit?
No, but you hear out people as well. I mean, that's the one thing that I do know. Like when we were working on that cover, the original concept you talked about. You heard what my issues were with it. But it's because of, like, again, the size of what the book is going to be. Doing that kind of what we originally talked about was going to be a little bit, it translates differently when we're going to do like a cover, right? So, and you trusted my judgment on what I've done with previous high profile images and stuff that I've done for covers. So, and when I turned in what I did to you, you were like, oh my God, no, you were right. This is absolutely amazing. And it's supposed to be a good back and forth. It's not supposed to be, we're pulling out hair. This person wants me to change all this and blah, blah, blah. No, you need to talk it out and see what's going to be the best thing for the actual product that you're putting out.
Like I told you, Charlie, it's expected, in like if you're doing art editor work, that it's kind of expected from a contractor that you're going to have comments, and that's why, just you do it, but you do it at the right stage. If you get like the rough and you see a problem there, you just don't want to follow through into the final piece of art,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you are right. I think it was you, Chubb. You went, for fuck's sake, Charlie, just make a decision. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. And you're like, stop apologizing. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, no, stop apologizing. But it is because I sit here and I go, right, I know that you guys have got the talent and the foresight. You've done this before. You know what you're looking for. So when you tell me, no, it should be like this, the direction should be like this, X, Y, and Z. I went, okay, yeah, that's fine. Like Vinny's cover, I originally had this like cinematic poster idea with like different images on it, and he said that's not going to work because you're going to detract from what you're trying to do. So I said, okay, do what you want to do, let's have a seat. And when he did it, I was like, no, you're right, just by having just him. And then I realized that actually this has worked out incredibly well, because the one that is Donald's is the little boy in the distance, and the one that is Vinny's is the tramp up close. So it's almost like he's running towards the audience, and as he's running from a child, he's turning into the character he would be. So if you put them two together, you've got the perspective of child and adult.
That's why I think that featured tier is a great tier to grab, because you get all three of these magnificent covers. And yeah, it does tell a story. You're right. It absolutely does. The way that you have it, it's gonna work. It has been working, and it's beautiful. But at the same time, too, yeah, you trusted in the artists and our abilities and what we're known for and what we're able to do. And that's what, like, the mainstream people, they don't do. They won't trust that kind of thing, or they have their favorite fucking people just because of the big name that it is. And a lot of times they're producing shit because they're phoning it in. So we have something that's, again, special over here, right? We have a proper balance of people who want to do good work, people who care about what they're working on, and we're going to give you the best product. So that's the fun thing about what we're doing too, right? It's we're getting the best out of one another, and it's a cool thing, because I want to see people succeed. I don't give a shit what anyone else says. We're all competition, this and that. Yes and no. I would say anytime I see my friends or anybody who I think is an amazing artist or amazing writer or creator, whatever, when I see their campaigns doing better, I know that's great, because it's going to help everyone. And that's how it should be approached, everything that we're doing. My only competition is my previous campaigns. That's how I've always looked at it. You never compare yourself to somebody else. That's a great way to be miserable for the entirety of your life, right? And that's how you fail a lot too. That competition should be with yourself and what you're working on, right? Always try to be better. That should be the thing. You release a cool book, that next one better be even better, just for you. Never mind anybody else. And that's how you make sure things are going to keep elevating in a proper way. And I think I'm on my high horse enough over here.
No, it's fine. I mean, I think the two things for
later,
me,
Berserk.
Oh, bye. I think the two things for me that really, they made me realise, like all the anticipation and the dread and the, is it going to be successful, and all these things that go on behind the scenes and in front of the cameras and whatever. I think the two things that really made me go, I've accomplished something here, is I got a knock at the door about a month ago now, and it was the postman, and he said, I've got a package for you, and Jan jokingly said, oh, what else you ordered off Amazon now? And I was like, I haven't ordered anything off Amazon. I don't know what this is. And when we opened it, the Chaplins had sent me to congratulate me on the success of the campaign so far at that stage. They'd sent me silver jewelry that was inscribed with Chaplin quotes on it.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, what a bangle that's got a quote about the importance of creativity on it. And they said that they thought that this was something that would be perfect for this. And the other thing, which Chaplin's biographer, David Robinson, is 90. And he knew Chaplin. He knows all the family. It's through David I've got a lot of this stuff. And he actually emailed me and said how brilliant this was and how proud he was of me. He is, as long as his sort of workload, he's actually still working. Like, he's just brought out a new book on an unmade Chaplin film called The Freak. But he actually said he will do my introduction to this book, and he's going to write a little bit, as long as he's got the time, which I hope he has. He said he plans on writing a little bit of my background and how he got to know me and why this project is so important. Now, I always said, as long as I made enough money to get this book out there, I was happy. And this campaign has done more than my wildest dreams ever thought it would be possible. But the fact that that person, now bear in mind, David Robinson's book is what made the Robert Downey Jr. film. He knows Robert Downey Jr., right? Mm-hmm. So all these little things, it makes me think it's mind blowing for me that I could possibly have done this. And when I think of the journey this has been a year, when I think of where I was this time last year to now, it's insanity. And I can't even put it half the time into words. I sit there and go like, how? And, a lot of, I'd say my backers are 50% CG and 50% people that are like in the silent film community, because I've actually got quite a decent sized following on my Facebook page of all, I think I've got about nearly 6,000 people that follow it. And I know a lot of them have backed. So it's the fact that it's like transcending different communities. And also equally, I know that people who are in silent films that have come over and looked at CG, they didn't know what CG was. They've backed CG books now. Yeah. So, like this is not about making us the biggest fish in a small pond. This is about us stretching the boundaries of those ponds and getting those fish to come in. And I think that is so important. When they see that there's books of all different genres and types here, that there's a book for everyone, there's a book for, and even down to the thing of if you're an aspiring artist and didn't think that you could ever do it, all of a sudden you find that you can do it. Isn't that the most empowering thing? It's not about coming over here and making huge amounts of money. It's about coming over here and fulfilling your dreams. The money is, look, I know it's easy for me to sit up here for $38,000 campaign and turn around and say that it's not about the money. But I promise to anyone watching, and you guys in the panel will know, I never once spoke about money when I did this project. It was about getting it out there to say that a book with my name on it had something to do with Charlie Chaplin. And
I remember you saying, like, if you break even and you just get some of your money back, that would be great.
Yeah.
I
remember that too. Yeah, and you also said, if it's only enough to do the one book, well, then I'm happy I'm able to do one book. That wasn't the thing that you were kicking and screaming that you needed money. That never happened. Never once.
No,
and that's what I really respect about you across the board too, because you have these great connections. You're able to get this out there. Somebody like David, like you said, that he's part of it. He's going to be doing the forward. He helped you make these connections too, and all that great stuff. I mean, it's like it was kind of meant to be, right? This project had to happen. You know?
Yeah, and it's about giving things back. I mean, Billy Tucci's working on this. He's doing a poster. Thank you, Hoovy. He's doing a pin-up that's going to be ready to launch like in the last 24 hours. It's exclusive to the Keystone tier. Even though we are talking about the possibility of the Keystone tier is getting the poster, but maybe I might add a postcard as a stretch goal for everybody, because I like to make it so that everybody gets their fair share. But Billy has got David Robinson's book. Billy came and wanted to work on this campaign because, like you, Vinny, he adores Chaplin. And I had a link to watch David do a Skype call about when it was his 90th birthday. He was doing this whole video about his life in like film journalism and how he met Chaplin. And I sent Billy the link. Like, I actually said, it's an exclusive link, Billy, but I want you to come and watch this. Now, bear in mind, this is Billy Tucci. Bear in mind the things that he's done. Do you know how happy he was that he got to see that? He was like, oh, my God, I can't believe that I got to listen to David Robinson talk. And that, to me, is like, I've passed that on. That, to me, means more than anything. And look, Jan will tell you, and I keep saying this, we used some of our wedding funds to pay for this book. Like, this book is, a lot of this is being paid for out of us. We're not relying on, we're not relying on the backers' money to sort of fund this. The money, the profit from that is going back in our savings. And like I said, it's probably been a fun book too. So you've got no worries about not getting your book. I have made everything so airtight. You could put this campaign on water and it would float. I promise you.
and that is amazing. Like I said, it's not cheap to produce these things, and especially if you have multiple covers. That's a huge chunk of money. So for you to have done that, you spent your own money to hire artists to do this kind of thing. That is big. That is a huge thing. Most people would take the money straight from here. In a lot of cases, that's why people do crowdfunding. But you said, screw that. I want to make sure that I'm going to use that money to go into the next campaign, to fulfill, to do everything I need to do. And that should be commended. You know what I mean? It's not easy to do, because my first campaign, I was the same situation. I didn't hit what I needed to, but I paid out of pocket to make sure everyone who backed it got what they ordered, And then my next campaigns, I learned from the previous ones, and I kept snowballing my projects and everything. And people saw how I fulfilled, how I went above and beyond, even though they're like, oh, this guy, he didn't make any money. How is he able to do this? It's because I knew that I could build this the proper way. I knew that if I banked on myself, I could get there, because I've helped big companies make a lot of money. I'm banking on myself this time, and that's why I'm happy that things are going in the right direction. My campaign's doing a little bit better each time. Is pretty amazing. I mean, you and I, we're at similar numbers, through the woods. And this is my 5th campaign. That's your first campaign. That is amazing, And
I don't take it for granted, though, Vinny. The one thing I'll say is I do know that I'm carrying a well-known brand. Like, I don't imagine for 1 minute that would be my numbers if this wasn't Chaplin. Like, if this was just a story that I was coming up, it would not be anywhere near this. So this is what I'm saying is I try to be as humble as possible. You've built up a reputation of 5 books. You've got your own audience that are waiting for the next Vinnie Tartamella book. This is because it's Charlie Chaplin. And I know that. And I'm not, if I brought out my own book tomorrow and it only funded, I'm not going to go like, don't you know who I am? I'm going to be like, that's understandable, because this is exactly what it is. This has got legs on its own. And I knew that you'd never be able to measure this book against me. You'd have to, and that's another reason why it had to be on point, because it's carrying a brand. It can't be anything other than what it is, the talent and the caliber that's worked on it. I don't have and that's why as well I brought it out 6 months later than I was planning on, because there's been so many campaigns that haven't fulfilled, and drama with those different situations that have gone on. I was like, people don't know me. They don't know if I'm going to take the money and run. I need to do this and build up the trust and the of everybody here, because if you don't have the community, you don't have the trust, you don't have anything. And your campaign show that, because you've done 5 books and you built yourself up, and that's exactly where you are.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I mean, yeah, what you have is amazing, but at the same time, if you were a horrible person too, or people saw it, again, they wouldn't have backed you. It doesn't matter what it is, if it's a known property or not. The thing is, you brought a lot of yourself into this. You've been classy with people. You've been entertaining. You've been fun. Here he is. I didn't kick him, by the way.
No. He's been having internet problems. It's fine. Wouldn't never just leave anyway.
he's like, wait a minute. She said that she's not going to be demanding if she releases another book and it's not Chaplin. He said, bullshit. I know what happened.
Rage quit. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Look how we all support each other. Like, Wooly came on my stream. He launched Elsa Dark. We funded in less than an hour.
45 minutes.
Less than 45 minutes we funded. It was a pleasure to have him on. Then I've been on with him and Stato when we were talking about Alfred Hitchcock last week. That was absolutely incredible. I mean, like, that was amazing, talking about Hitchcock's silent years, which people don't realise was a thing. And we just, that's what we do. I mean, look at that picture. Jeez. I mean, that picture is insane.
I fucking love it. Again, and like you said too, Wooly's a great guy. I mean, I've had him on a couple of times. I did his streams as well. We had a great conversation about art and, you know, and movies and everything else and what inspired us. That is fun stuff. That is great to get into the head of somebody else and see what makes them tick, at least creatively, you know, and then like the work that we're all producing, you know, and sometimes you'll see it coming out. Other times people are like, holy shit, he's into that, but that book had nothing to do with, you know. It's cool to see it, the process and how we're working. Because again, most of us are very wacky and strange. But at the same time, you can see what we're putting out is actual quality, is great stuff. You know. Again, like I'm a fan of that kind of stuff too, horror things and things of that nature. It's just cool. It's fun. I suggest anyone, if you guys haven't backed these projects, please jump on them. You're gonna make creators happy, and you're gonna afford us to be able to get even more books out, you know, and that is a good thing. So hell yeah. Hell, that's right.
And Chubb is like, Jan and I have been drinking with Chubb. We went down to I was down where he lives for something, and we met up, and you know, I can say that he's one of the nicest guys in real life as he is on streams. He is exactly the same. He is one of the most sincere people you will meet, and he's a great example how someone online, you know, you can only keep a facade up online for so long. Like, if you're not yourself, you're not true to yourself, the veil will fall. People will see through it. And there's no one like the CG UK guys. There is no one I would say I'm worried about the veil slipping. Everyone is 100% who they should be.
Exactly. And that's what I always preach over here. Be genuine. Because if you're not genuine, people are going to see it regardless. You know, I've been known to go on my epic rants from time to time, where they, you know, for a while everyone was calling me Angry Vinny. But it's directed towards real things, right? It's the scumbags in the mainstream, what they've done, how they've hurted the people, and it's basically educating them so that, you know, we leave it to the audience to, you know, to decide. I mean, if you're over here, yeah, chances are you do like what we have to say on the product that we're putting out. But for a lot of people, they didn't know a lot of stories, and, you know, recounting things that have happened in my life and who I've dealt with and some of the funny stuff too, or whatever. I think it is interesting, right, to see how a lot of stuff is made, or what happened, or why something fell apart, or someone didn't get what they got, what they needed, or whatever. It's interesting. It's different, but you got to be genuine. If you're fake, you're phony. Yeah, it's gonna fall to shit. People are gonna see through it. Again, a lot of those guys who just wouldn't go on stream ever. But like, you've seen how they are. They're not very personable. You've seen people like Courteous or whatever. Trump, you know, he's always tripping over his own feet every time he was talking. He would disappear on giant, you know, months at a time, and it's like, well, what the hell happened? And then you find out, you know, his book isn't being fulfilled. Other things happen. You know, it's something like people didn't know at first, but now I think they're more keen to it. So keeping eyes on individuals and projects. You got to bring yourself to the table all the time. You know, don't half-ass it. If something does happen or something gets screwed up, be honest with people. Let them know what's going on, why there's a delay, this or that. Don't make up stories about a year later or 2 years later and whatever other nonsense, because no one's going to buy it, you know?
No, I mean, if, you know, during the current climbs, if you emailed your backers and said, look, there's an issue with there's an issue with getting the books here because of COVID, people are going to be quite understanding. But if you're a year into a project and then you haven't even given them an update and they don't know anything, and then you turn around and say you've only done 5 pages of the book, of course they're going to be pissed off. You wouldn't go into a shop and you wouldn't go to buy a suit and then them go, well, you can only have the arm now. You've got to have to come back for the other arm and the rest of the tailored bit at the top in a year's time. They'd be like, what are you talking about?
Exactly.
And you know, at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that are working their asses off to bring these books out. We all understand if they're late for whatever reason. I mean, if someone was to say to me, you're going to get the best book in the world, but because of this, because of that, because of the other, I haven't got it out yet, I'll wait the year. I don't mind. And my life's not depending on that book. It's when we don't get the updates and we feel like we're just having our money taken. And that's the problem. I don't care if an artist is late. I don't know about anyone else, but I'm happy to wait if I'm going to get the product that I backed. It's when it's like there's like no reason behind it, or there's like shitty reason behind it, and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah, I agree. And that's why I said too, I'm doing something different too, but I'm going to keep people informed of what I'm doing. Shadow of the Kraken. I mean, this is my current book, but look at the level of detail and the paintings and the stuff that I'm doing. You know, for me, this is like next level. It's some of the best work I've ever produced, and every page I'm trying to do better and better with it. So I'm past the halfway mark. I'm going to keep people updated. I might even do some painting and drawing on streams because I want to make sure that people are seeing it and they're kind of connected with the project on more levels. So yeah, be honest, be open. It's going to be cool. It's going to be fun. And, you know, I can't wait. I hope people do jump on board because, again, it's about getting these cool projects out there, you know, and they know my track record. They know I deliver when I say I'm going to, or when it's time to, bam, it happens. So, yeah, and that's how we got to keep it. By the way, I want to show the trailer too, because guys, girls, make sure you sign up to this, because signing up is also going to get you the free mini print upon your first purchase when we go live. So you don't want to miss that. There's other cool things that's going to happen, and you're going to want to get notified because I am doing a special thing like within the first couple of days of the campaign. So you're going to want to keep an eye on it. But let me hit the trailer for anyone who hasn't seen it. So yes, and this is going to be launching about the first week of January is what I'm looking at right now. So again, please.
Stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, a very beautiful video. Just like you see a lot of good production value in there.
Yeah, that was
lush.
Yeah, that was Red Gaze who put that together. Great fucking
wow.
guy. Awesome project. He has Sunsworn that he's actually fulfilling now. So if you guys haven't, jump on that as well. It's the first novel you're getting from Comicscape. I mean, could you imagine? It's fucking amazing. And the amount of work that went into this project and the art compendium, creators from across the board, including people from the chat. I mean, it's going to be just an awesome, amazing project. So jump on it if you haven't on that one as well. That's Sunsworn. It also has one of my covers. I've been on that project. Witch Hunter by Carla and John over at White Cat Comics. Jump on their book as well. I say grab both of those covers because they're different endings, and you're going to want to see what happens on those. I'm trying to hit everybody right now that I can think of.
Don't forget, Chubb's got a mailing list as well for the next Mary Boys.
Oh, nice.
Let me. Do you want to share that?
Screen?
I'll share screen. Give me a sec.
Yeah, we'll pull that up.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those ones that I'm massively. I can't wait for. I mean, weirdly, I backed Mary Boys way before I actually really knew what CG was. Like, yeah, Jan had been around in CG a lot longer than me, and it was like something that he was very much more like proactive with. And one of the first books I personally backed was Mary Boys because I just loved. There was something about the original, the artwork of that one really like drew me in. I loved the ink washes and. That's
I jumped on it too. It's one of the projects I thought that I backed early, but I didn't. But then I corrected it, and when I got it, I was blown away. I mean, just beautiful stuff, man.
All right, cheers, man. Cheers.
Really great stuff.
Yes, so for this one, I'm going to have a bit of color. It's not just going to be black and white. So for the I'm going to have two variant covers done with you know Dr. Martin's ink. You know that the colored ink stuff that the old EC artists and things used to use. I whipped that out, and I did like 2 wraparound covers for that. Then there's this print over here, which is going to be like a freestanding print as part of another perk. And the important thing to sign up is you'll get this free card when you're back. It's it's the same design as the T-shirt I currently have, but it doesn't appear anywhere else. So yeah, it's an extra
cool
thing for people who sign up.
The thing about Mary Boys is if the Eisner Awards actually went to comics and people who deserved them, Chubb would have gone home with an arm full of Eisner Awards.
Oh yeah,
oh yeah, I think so.
100%.
You're crazy, Wally. You're mad.
No,
I'm crazy. I'm right.
He's not at all. He's not at all. I mean, yours was the only one of my covers that I had like physically in my hand. Like everyone else has worked in digital, and you actually sent me the original of that. And when I looked at it up close, I knew I was either selling it on an auction or I was going to be putting it on the campaign. But I will tell you, it took a lot for me to keep that promise and not just frame it for myself. Because it was so beautifully done with the ink washes you use. You're a genius, Chubb, and I would just take the credit.
Don't let Mrs. Chubb hear that. She'll disagree with you. She's sitting behind me, frowning. What are you talking about?
It went to his head again.
He's going to have an ego for a week now. Thank you, Charlie.
That is great. Oh, my God. Well, like I said, we have awesome people here, and if you haven't guessed it yet, go back, watch the stream again. Again, I like having the good conversation with talented, cool people. That to me is more important than just going, "Oh, here's my book, take a look." No, we've been having a good time, I think. So yeah, please back these projects. Sign up if you haven't yet on the ones that are in the sign up phase. We're all going to be launching, it's going to be a great fucking 2021 with the amount of new projects coming out. So, your support means everything, everyone in chat, other creators as well. We're just going to keep going up, and up. So that's what we got to do. So anyone else? Yeah. Any other final words?
No, thanks for having us all. And
cheers.
Thanks for the cover. Thanks to everybody on this panel that have worked on my project, and I can't wait to start getting in your hands. Next milestone for me is seeing people get it and like the reviews and what people say, and then I'm fingers crossed that we're allowed to start flying again soon and whatnot. But there's something in the works with the chaplains where I'll be actually unveiling the book, taking the book to Switzerland. To the museum, so that'll be probably something that I'll stream. and that's definitely going to be something that I really want CG to be proud of, because it's, you know, to have this IP here. Come on, it's cool. It is cool.
It is. It is cool, and that's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see that. So yeah, I hope you can do it, and and soon. It's going to be awesome. Again, back Charlie's London from East Lane to Limelight. Jump on Shadow of the Kraken, Alicia Dark. Sign up to Chubb's new one. I still have Through the Woods. These things are going out the door. So if you put the order in, it's either same day or next day I mail them out. Same with City of Venus, still available. The sequel is going to come after I'm finished with the pirate book. So I'm jumping right on to City of Venus 2 for anybody who was curious. On this campaign, you can get all three of the floppies I have, the volume 1 and 2 of the art books, plus City of Venus. I suggest if you guys want all three, grab the featured tier, and then I have the add-on for the volume 1. Because again, I moved everything over to this campaign that were floppies that were still available, so that it's a little bit easier on people and easier on me with the 2 live campaigns I have at the moment. Again, they go right out the door right away. So if you want them, jump on it quick. I know Christmas is coming up soon. You might still be able to get them before Christmas if you order today. So just letting you people know that. But yeah, Shadow of the Kraken, that's the next big one. I can't wait for you guys to check out what I'm doing. Again, the story I've written all out. It's already all copywritten. It's just I'm doing the artwork now. More than half of it is finished. And again, I'm doing everything on this. Writing it, drawing it, inks, paints, lettering, the works. So much like City of Venus, this one's all mine. But I do have another project with my brother Frank coming up after City of Venus 2, which is going to be a one-shot. I can't wait to get on that project as well, because it's fucking killer. I've done a good amount of pencils on that, but again, it's cool to jump around. I'm sure everyone could kind of agree if they're into the same stuff that we are. It's your creative mind goes all over the place. But again, thank you to everybody. I'll play out that awesome intro again. Remember, kick ass while you create, but be kind to one another. Please have a good night, and thank you everyone for being here. Slowly up.